Welcome to the Thriving Mayor Show, the weekly broadcast featuring former and current mayors who are thriving, sharing their story, insight, wisdom, and viewpoint. Join us and comment on social media as we meet another of the superheroes we elect to lead the rejuvenation of our towns and cities and who serve us all. Visit www.thrivingmayor.com to learn more. Here we go. Good morning, everyone. It's Michael Hubicki, the host of the Thriving Mayor Show. It's May the 12th, 2021, and this is episode 23, and I'm super excited today to welcome the current mayor of Guelph, Ontario, Cam Guthrie. Hi, Cam. How are you today?
Hi, very good. Thank you so much. I really appreciate the opportunity to be here.
We're thrilled to have you on the show, and can't wait to get into the interview. I just want everyone to know that this recording or the interview was recorded on May the 6th. It was pre-recorded, but during the broadcast of it on May the 12th, please leave any social comments or posts that you like, and I'll be monitoring and try to respond to them as best as possible. And then leave comments on our YouTube channel or on Facebook as anytime in the future. We'll begin the episode by honoring the Aboriginal land and the Indigenous peoples who've lived here from the beginning. And here I mean Bay of Quinte, where we're broadcasting the show from. As settlers, we're grateful for the opportunity to meet here, and we thank all the generations of people who have taken care of this land for thousands of years. In particular, we honor the ancestors of the land, the Anishinaabeg, Huron-Wendat, Haudenosaunee, Ojibwe, Chippewa peoples. This territory is covered by the Williams Treaty. Mayor Cam, would you like to share with us your acknowledgement?
Yeah, thank you. I read this out at our council meetings or other special events as well, and so the elders here locally helped us create the land acknowledgement that we use. And it says, we are gathered, we're reminded that we are situated on treaty land steeped in rich Indigenous history and home to many First Nations, Métis, and Inuit people. As a city, we have a responsibility for the stewardship of the land on which we both live and work. And today we acknowledge the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation of the Anishinaabeg peoples on whose traditional territory we are meeting.
Wonderful. And I also love, Cam, the way that City of Guelph has included the concept of stewardship as we move forward and day to day and in future generations. It's wonderful.
Absolutely. Yeah, for sure. And it's probably a good kind of a nice segue, I guess, to maybe what we're going to be talking about here about some upcoming things about what Guelph is doing.
Absolutely. And really leading the way. Super, super excited. On today's show, we'll chat about Cam's musical roots, his mayoral journey, and his leadership of the City of Guelph Circular City and Circular Opportunity Innovation Launchpad, otherwise known as COIL, which has accelerated Canada's transition to a sustainable circular economy, starting with food and environment sectors. So Cam was re-elected Mayor of Guelph in 2018 after serving as mayor from 2014 to 2018 and as a councillor for Ward 4 from 2010 to 2014. From 2019 to 2020, he served a two-year term as the chair of Ontario's Big City Mayors, a group of 29 mayors of cities with populations of 100,000 or more who collectively represent nearly 70% of Ontario's population. Cam was a licensed insurance broker and local entrepreneur for 16 years before becoming mayor. An avid community volunteer, Cam has served on boards of several local not-for-profit organizations, and he has mentored startups and small business owners through the Business Center of Guelph, Wellington. He holds a business diploma from Sir Sanford Fleming College, I think in Peterborough.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah. In 2008, the Guelph Mercury named him one of the city's top 40 under 40. An accomplished drummer, Cam has been a member of local bands, played on several studio recordings, and produced or co-produced several albums. His roots in Guelph stretch back to 1919, when his great-grandfather founded Guthrie's Bakery on Quebec Street in downtown Guelph. Wonderful, wonderful. Amazing legacy that is back a couple of generations in Guelph, and then obviously stewarding another really strong living and lasting legacy moving forward. Wonderful to have you on the show today, Mayor Cam.
Thank you. You forgot to mention my multi-year modeling career. No, I'm just kidding.
They didn't put that in the bio, but I can't see why not. Come on.
That's right.
Oh,
Yeah, no,
geez.
thank you. Yeah, that I don't often hear that little opening remarks there. So it's neat to go, oh yeah, that yeah, oh yeah. So
Yeah.
thank you for the trip down memory lane there.
Oh yeah, you're very, very welcome, and to be very proud of it too. It's wonderful. Share with us a little bit about your recollections. Was it your great grandfather or your great grandfather started the bakery in Guelph?
Would have been my great grandfather.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, 1919, and so yeah, just a couple of years ago, it was the 100th anniversary of the Guthries, my side of the Guthries in town. And so yeah, the Guthrie Bakery was very well known, actually. In fact, still to this day, when I go to some of the seniors residents or meet with seniors groups, they will continue to say, I remember your grandfather's bakery. He had the best lemon slices,
Okay.
and he used to have a donut machine in the front window downtown. And so people, would put their faces up against the window and look at the donut machine getting made. And so my grandpa and the family that worked there, they really, when you think about it, they really had an awesome connection with everybody. They were making wedding cakes, they were making birthday cakes, so you got to know everybody.
Yeah.
And especially when it comes to wedding cakes, there's a lot of trust, right? You got to put in the person who's putting the icing or writing the things or the designs on the cake. And so my grandfather then started after the bakery in insurance. And of course he was very successful in that because everybody trusted him with the cakes.
Wow.
So then I followed in his footsteps a little bit with insurance after that.
Yeah, that's awesome. And speaking of writing on cakes, I remember one time we were doing a cake for my daughter, who we just nicknamed Kid. And we went to the store and I said, I'd like a birthday cake, happy birthday, Kid.
Kid?
And we wrote happy birthday, Kim.
Oh, really? Boy, you can't mess that one up too hard. Three letters.
And her name's Hannah. So it was.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah.
We had a good laugh with that. But yeah, we do put a lot of trust in our cake decorators.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. And tell us a little bit about why drums, and super interesting instrument, really difficult to master. How did you evolve into that?
You know what? I don't know how. I never took any lessons. But there was this drum set that sitting at church, and when I used to go out with my friends for like youth group nights and stuff like that, it was like this drum set sort of sitting in the corner, and we'd be playing games or whatever, and then I would just kind of go over and I would just I'd pick up the sticks and just try to, and all of a sudden I could actually start keeping a beat. And so it just came from there. I just then my parents, they could tell that I was really interested in it, and they surprised me with a drum set one day in the basement, and the rest is history. I just play all the time, continually play. Yeah.
And what's your favorite genre?
I would say just rock, straight up good rock stuff. I'm not into the heavy stuff too much, but anything kind of just rock related is good with me. Yeah.
So you were probably equally as disappointed and saddened as I was with Neil Peart's passing.
Yeah, especially Canadian and world-renowned drummer. So in fact, when that happened, it was kind of neat in a way to see all the outpouring of support on his life as a drummer, and being able to watch back videos that were being posted. I mean, I can't even do 4 seconds, not even 3 seconds of what that guy does. But amazing drum set. I play like a 4-piece drum set, and he had like an 80-piece drum set.
Yeah, I think still, like if you YouTube or Google best solo drum sets or best drum set intros ever, it's Neil Peart's usually right up at the top of those.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Just
Yeah.
just
I don't think
spectacular.
I'll ever be remembered for my drum solos ever. But it's interesting, being mayor, I often refer to it as just playing the drums, right? Your one hand is doing this, your other hand is doing that. You got one foot doing this, and your mind is like, okay, this has got to do this, has got to, and that's, there's some relation there between
Yeah,
being a drummer and being a leader at the same time.
kind of like juggling chainsaws.
Yeah, yeah, it can be. It can be dangerous.
Oh man! And I was just cruising through your Facebook page earlier, and I noticed that you had I think it was World's Star Wars Day the other day, and you had
Oh yeah.
brought out a photo of one of your favorite garage sale finds.
Yeah, I'm a massive garage sale person. It's I've been doing it for years. Well, before I was a politician, I still do it every Saturday. It's been tough with COVID, obviously, but every Saturday I get into the car. 7 o'clock in the morning till sometimes noon or 1 o'clock. I'm gone. I'm out all over the place and buying stuff, and my wife's rolling her eyes all the time. But I love it. I love the hunt. I love a good deal. And I love meeting people too, right? People are always like, "Why are you at my garage? Why are you the mayor and you're at my garage sale?" And I always say to people, "Well, look, I'm a thrifty mayor. If I'm thrifty with my own money, then I'm going to be thrifty with your money, right?" And then they're like, "Oh,
Absolutely.
okay, that's pretty good." So I love meeting people, but I've always been a garage sale fan. And yeah, that poster, that picture that you talked about was one of my best finds. It's an original 1977 Star Wars poster, and I got it for 25 cents at a garage sale. It was one of my
Wow.
best finds. Yeah.
What would something like that be worth now?
Actually, it's funny because last year somebody was actually he was like into posters, movie posters, and they said that could be worth anywhere up to about $500 or $600.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, that's a great investment.
Yeah, not bad, eh?
Yeah.
And I remember when I found that poster too. There was a whole bunch of posters on a ground, and they were all rolled up.
Yeah.
But not like creased, but just kind of rolled. And so I was kind of holding them up to the sun, kind of looking inside to see what was
Yeah.
And I remember holding it up, looking through, and I saw, I could just tell right away it's Star Wars. And I didn't even unroll it. I just said, "How much for the posters?"
Yeah.
25 cents. No problem. Here you go.
Yeah. Wow.
And then I was in my car and out of there pretty quick.
So the next time they ask you as mayor what you're doing at their garage, just saying, "I'm demonstrating, I'm living a circular economy."
Hey, all right. That's
Right?
exactly it. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. What goes around comes around.
That's right.
Yeah.
Better in my house. That's what I'll say to my wife now. "Honey, it's better in our house than in landfill, right? Come on. I'm trying to help the environment."
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, I noticed another someone posted on it. They bought a pinball machine, a Star Wars pinball machine, a couple
Yeah.
years back, and those are getting really rare too. But
They are.
it's still super fun to play.
Yes. Yeah.
And-
One day, maybe if we have the space, I'll get into that too. But I don't know if my my wife would like that. I got
Yeah.
enough stuff at the house.
I remember when Space Invaders came out, that whole genre of digital games, and then the pinball games just dropped right off.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was kind of the beginning of the end for that for
That's
me.
right. Yeah, I know. I know.
Yeah. And speaking of your Facebook page, there's a couple of really interesting initiatives that you and your wife Rachel have obviously shown a lot of leadership in the community. And the one in particular was support or was the playground, make your own playground or fort contest.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tell us a bit about that.
Well, just 3 weeks ago, I guess now, the provincial government announced the second or third, lockdown and stay-at-home order. And at the same time that they announced that, they also announced that even outdoor playgrounds would also be closed. And so I was not happy about that. In fact, not a lot of people were happy about that.
Yeah.
And as everyone knows, not even a day later, the province actually reversed course on that and allowed playgrounds to be open. But before that announcement happened, I got to thinking, oh my goodness, how can we try to keep this positive? How can we get the kids to stay somewhat happy through this time?
Yeah.
And so I came up with this: make your own playground, make your own fort or obstacle course inside your house or just outside your house, and send it on in to me, and And then local toy store, I bought a $50 gift card to give to sort of the winner of the best one.
Yeah.
But people really rallied around it, and random people, some I know, but actually most I didn't know, they actually went to the same toy store downtown and they bought $50 gift cards themselves. So I was actually able to give away 12 $50 gift cards to kids, and then we gave a free ice cream cones to everyone that kind of entered the contest. We had about 50 or 60 kids enter the contest, and I'll tell you, some of the pictures and the videos that were sent in, they really, I kind of wish the whole city, the whole world could see them. It was kids having a really innocent, great time, positive, with all the sort of, negativity that's out there this last year. It was actually a pretty good moment. Kind of hit me in the feels a little bit to watch all those.
Yeah. Well, and I think you'd mentioned that you're going to get some permission to repost some of the videos and then do a little compilation. It'd be great if we could get that.
Yes.
We'll keep an eye out, but to put that in the link, because that is like, it really does. Would you say hit you in the feels?
Yeah, hit me in the feels.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That must be a Guelphism. I've never heard that one before.
Oh, I think I'm trying to be hip with that. Maybe my kid said it or something. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then another one was one day, I think it was a Monday morning, he said, hope you had a great weekend. Why don't we also try to support a local artist today? And reach out to them, take lessons, support them in some way, which is phenomenal.
Yeah, I'm really trying to push, and look, I it's not just me, as others are all pushing support local, and often we hear about restaurants, takeout, pickup, and rightly so. They absolutely need our help. The hospitality sector absolutely needs our help, but there are other sectors too, like arts and culture, and personal care, like barbers or hairdresser salons, and I try to amplify those needs as well. So every day I might just kind of dropping little hints, like, what could you do today? And it doesn't have to be about buying something. It could just be about leaving them a great review on Google or something, like, just reaching out to these people that are really struggling from a business point of view, but also to support people in the arts and culture.
Yeah, it's so wonderful. And Guelph has, with the university there and so many other really progressive, and I don't want to say liberal, but it's a very, very artistic and innovative, imaginative community that we always love going to Guelph and spending time there. So that's amazing.
Yeah, we're pretty blessed here with the people, the kind of the DNA of our city. But then also, as you mentioned, the University of Guelph, Councillor College, those institutions are world renowned, and they bring lots of people together, help the city as well with stuff as well. But it's a great university city for those reasons. Yeah,
that's phenomenal. So that's a little bit about Cam and Rachel and the family and Guelph. But now let's move over to Circular Cities and the COIL initiative. And over the last, I'm a retired landscape architect and built an off-grid home at one point, really into sustainability, permaculture, energy efficiency. So I've always had a real interest in circular economy and urban agriculture and trying to promote it wherever I could. But you and Guelph are just pushing the momentum so much faster and more forward, which is really amazing. And a couple of the seminars and webinars I've been to the last couple of weeks, Guelph has really seemed to be the pinnacle of leadership in Canada. And then I saw that you had a $5 million announcement from FedNor or FedDev.
FedDev,
FedDev on COIL. So, Cam, please share with us this exciting news and
sure.
How Guelph is leading us really in circular economy.
Sure. Where do I start with this?
I knew it would be hard.
I first of all, I'm here to amplify the voices and the people behind these projects. And you've stated it right. Like Guelph is, I don't mind sort of touting what Guelph is doing here. We are at the forefront. We are being leaders in this niche
Mhm.
opportunity, and it's one thing to sort of say it, but it's one thing to have others recognize it, not only from a government level, but also from other stakeholders, other institutions, other private sector players,
Mhm.
nonprofits, and so on, to really say, Guelph's got something going on here. We got to check this out. So, just to give a little bit of context. 3 years or so ago, the federal government started what was called the Smart Cities Contest across Canada,
Mhm.
looking for cities to put themselves forward in a pitch to be a smart city under different themes. And we won. Guelph won under the $10 million category, up against cities across Canada,
Wow.
for a circular food economy. And that's kind of where it was born, from a circular economy point of view.
Okay.
And I know that you mentioned COIL, that announcement happened a couple of weeks ago. But the first sort of, I would say, stage of Guelph being recognized was under the Our Food Future, that's what it's called, Circular Economy Win, under the federal government, $10 million in 2019, I think it was. But it was about a year lead up to the announcement
Yeah.
of the winner. So we have goals, of course, embedded in that, specific to food, and let's just say that this is the, and I have the 3 bullet points here. I should probably know them off by heart. Yeah, here they are here. The normal way we look at resources that we use in anything is we take, we make, and then we dispose.
Yeah.
Take, make, dispose. And instead of that, we wanted to do another arrow. If you can, take, make, dispose. We want to add one more, which says, let's get rid of that dispose one, and let's see how we can repair, recycle, share, and create a new resource to have it go back into the community, and as a circular economy.
Yeah.
It has taken off so well under that Our Food Future circular economy that then a couple of weeks ago, FedDev announced $5 million for COIL. And COIL is Circular Opportunity Innovation Launchpad.
Yeah.
And for people that want more info on that, they can go to coil.eco, E-C-O.
Okay.
And as I said, it was just announced a couple of weeks ago. And think of that circular economy again. But instead of it purely focused on food, now we're expanding it into even environmental initiatives as well. So both from a nonprofit, social enterprise, private sector, and we are creating that opportunity over the next couple of years as an incubator, as a hub for that type of collaboration to create businesses, sustainable models, not only in our local economy here, but to share that globally as well. And COIL will have a foundational, a launching page where we are able to share what we're learning with others as well. But we want to create jobs, new enterprises, new non-for-profits in this COIL community,
Yeah.
and we're doing extremely well with that. And I'll just say one extra thing, because I don't want to take all the praise here, because it rightly is not us that takes all the praise. So Guelph is situated in the middle of sort of Wellington County, and so that there was that rural and urban. Sometimes people would look at it as a rural-urban divide, and we kind of stay in our own lanes and stay in our own places. Not in Wellington County. Wellington
Mhm.
County and Guelph, we combined together in an amazing partnership to put ourselves forward on the Smart Cities contest, which really, again, made us stand out from that urban and rural partnership. But then also COIL is also doing that as well. And so very thankful for Wellington County to also be involved with all of our other partners. Sorry for the blab, but I hope that kind of gave a little bit of context about what we're doing.
Yeah, you're right. It is hard to know where to start, but it's really great to have the chronology and that there was a competition, and that's competitions are so instrumental often to get people moving together.
Yeah, oh, for sure. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. Got the juices flowing, and gathered all partnerships. Like, we had, 100 partners come together to actually show that we can make this happen. And there's goals under the Our Food Future circular economy, goals under the COIL that we're doing now, and so we're not only meeting them already on some, but we're exceeding them. And we just really feel that this is going to be, Guelph's going to be the place where people want to come. We're that medium-sized city where people come to test things very in a lot more of an easier way than
yeah,
like some large, huge, massive, city or municipality, or a small one that doesn't really give a lot of data to people that might be looking for
yeah.
to gather data on under these themes. But Guelph is situated to be able to offer that to a lot of people, and so that's again why people are kind of knocking on the doors, wondering how they can partner with us here locally.
Well, and as you said, with two world leading institutions in Conestoga and Guelph, it's it's just like an ideal um, collaboration of the.
Yeah, and when I say partnership, it's not a political term. Like, it truly is. We have the partnerships and those stakeholders that are helping us through this, and that's why I started right off the bat saying, like, I'm amplifying the voices of those that really have been, the foundation of working on this. And I love being the spokesperson for it to, sell the city of coming here, but Guelph sort of sells itself. Doesn't need this drummer mayor
Yeah,
to be doing it. But it is, the proof is in the pudding. We just have people coming here all the time for
yeah.
that stuff.
Can you share with us a couple of quick wins, either on the circular food economy or on COIL, and maybe relate those back to how other mayors or other communities might be able to learn from your initiatives and implement some of those at home?
Well, I'll answer the first one, your second question first on COIL. I don't have an example yet because it was only announced 2 weeks ago, but I can tell you what people could expect. So we're going to be launching over a 2-year period, lots of intakes of submissions, challenges, and opportunities for people.
Wow.
So we want to give. Actually, I got it written down here somewhere. I don't go by memory. Yeah, we want to give 45 businesses 50 hours of mentorship for their ideas that they have under COIL. And then over the next couple of years, there will be phases where there will be competitions, and they'll be able to win up to $40,000 for their ideas and what they want to implement. But then there also will be sort of some grand prizes as well, for, I think it's going to be up to 5 businesses. And again, it doesn't have to be private sector, right? When I say businesses, enterprises, social
Yeah.
enterprises, nonprofits, up to $100,000 as well for some of these ideas that come forward. And
Wow.
so if people can get more information on the COIL part of it at coil.eco.
Eco.
Now, to give you some examples on the Our Food Future circular economy, because that's been running a bit more for a couple of years. One of the things that we wanted to do, we wanted to create an opportunity, especially under food, for yeah, again, the disposal part of food, the waste of food. Instead of it going to landfill or going to the wrong places, it gets reused. So just think about restaurants and all the food that they create and make. Instead of it going to garbage, it can go back to a farm that can use it as feed, as an example.
Yeah.
One of the examples of, actually, if I could go back to COIL, because COIL allows us to also look at the environment. And again, this is just a problem statement, so I don't have an example of it. It's a problem statement as an example. EV batteries, and like, what can we do at the end of life of EV battery. I mean, everything's going to that now. Transportation, whether that's public buses or whether that's our own vehicles or e-bikes. I mean, what are we going to do with that? What can we do with that? And that's what this incubator hub can try to help with mentorship and ideas to help people launch those types of businesses. We
Wow.
also want to try to create 50 new businesses under the Our Food Future and partnerships. And we wanted to do that in about 4 or 5 years, but we've already met that mark. We've
Wow.
already done that already with again, nonprofits, social enterprises, private sector companies being successful in using that circular economy help that we provide so that they can be successful. And when they're successful, they make money. That money goes back into the economy. They create jobs. We want people to have good paying jobs, sustainable jobs here. And so we are that hub, that incubator, as I said, in southwestern Ontario, actually in all of Ontario, to be able to come here and experience that. And we just want people to be successful. And at the same time, the environmental and social benefits at the end of the day are another byproduct of that circular economy that we get to experience.
Yeah, yeah. That's so impressive and really inspirational.
It really is.
Yeah.
And we've got lots of sort of big companies, small companies, entrepreneurs that are now really collaborating when
Yeah.
they never did before.
Yeah.
Reaching out for help and mentorship when they never did before. An idea that can finally be launched and commercialized. So we just have the right people in the right place to be able to provide all that, and that's what both COIL and the Our Food Future circular economies will be able to give to people.
Yeah. And I'd like to go back and just to kind of close the loop a little bit about how, like, a bit about your journey and how you got into politics and then mayor and back then, I mean, being a mayor, you're have to wear all the hats, but to have something like this that is so innovative and trend setting and really differentiates the community, like going all the way back and maybe your first campaign platform, did you ever envision that you'd be part of something like this before?
No, I didn't. I really didn't. I mean, when you're running for mayor, especially during platform campaigning, people do often talk about, oh, what's your vision for jobs and things like that. And I will admit that I definitely subscribed to clean energy jobs, environmentally friendly green jobs,
Right.
those types of things, advanced manufacturing. Trying to maybe make our downtown a destination for startups in tech and things like that. All still happening in Guelph, all still roaring. We're doing fine on that. I never thought about the circular. I never did. I have no problem saying that out loud. It wasn't until that Smart Cities Challenge
Yeah.
and some individuals within City Hall and outside of City Hall that got together and said, we could be something else, and especially with that rural and urban partnership of agriculture and service industry, the university, all coming together to try to figure that out. And when I heard them sort of pitch it to me in the early stages, I was just like, this makes absolute sense. And we want to be able to share. We've always said we want to be able to share what we learn and pass it on to others outside as well.
Yeah.
Sure, come here to be the hub, create your jobs, create your businesses here. We want that. But we want to leave the world a better place, not just Guelph, not just Ontario, not just Canada.
Oh,
And so
wonderful.
we can share this around the world, the learnings that we have here.
Yeah, so you talked a little bit about that you didn't really think about circular economy, but okay, take us back to your first election.
Okay,
And
yeah.
the process, who did I guess you probably told Rachel first, and like what was, oh, we were a councillor, but
Yes.
when you said, hey, what do you think about running for mayor?
So it was really interesting. I always kind of said, oh, I'd love to be mayor one day. Actually, when I was very young, in my teens, I
Wow.
talked about being the mayor one day. But then what was happening, it's always interesting when you hear your own family or your own close friends say you should run for mayor. I mean, that can kind of lift you up a little bit and think, oh, okay. But it's your friends and it's your family. And then all of a sudden, I started getting a lot of people that I didn't know leaving messages on the answering machine. Yes, that's how old I am. And there was answering machines. Answering machines at home, stopping me like on the street, stopping me when I'm buying milk at the grocery store, stopping me at garage sales, and saying you should run for mayor. And again, people I didn't know, and that's when I think it started to really snowball a little bit, from people really encouraging me, again, people I didn't even know. And so when it came down to it, I was just like, you know what, I think this is the right time, and I love to live my life, no regrets. I tell that to my kids, I tell that to others. You got to take risks. This is your only life you got. Go for it. And so I said, you know what, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go full in. And and I won. So here I am, and I really appreciate the opportunity to serve in this way. And it was an interesting moment, a little scary, obviously.
Was it a tight election, that tight campaign and a tight election, the first one, or?
Well, I was going against the incumbent mayor, and she had a lot of support. So it was tight. Yeah,
Yeah.
I did. There was, I think, 6 or 7 candidates, and I would say respectfully that myself and the incumbent mayor were sort of the top 2.
Yeah.
I received 50% of the overall votes.
Right.
So I forget what I won by. I think I won by like 4,500 or 5,000
Oh, that's
votes, something
great.
like that.
Yeah.
So maybe not close, but it was still a tight race all the way through to the end, for sure.
Yeah, that's that's really wonderful. And then when you do you think that your vision for Guelph back in 2014 has changed a lot now, and say the vision that you have for the community now?
Not so much. I mean, I have some overarching visions that I subscribe to, which is less government, less red tape, less interference from government, efficient and effective government. Try to stay in our lane as best as we can, to use municipal tax dollars for municipal reasons.
Mm-hmm.
I'm opinionated all the time. I think people appreciate that. At least I hope they do. And so I try my best to just stay under those sort of themes. I would say the only thing that's maybe changed, and I have no problem saying this out loud, is there's been a maturing. I think I'll use the word maturing. There's been a maturing of understanding the role, understanding what areas of the city may need more attention than you thought didn't originally. There was quite a few, and there's still some sort of carry-on issues from previous administrations that still need to be fixed and handled. And so some of those are finally sort of getting accomplished. And I think thinking that they would go as fast as I thought they would is not the reality in government. And so sometimes it takes a while, but I would say the only other thing that's changed now is more that COVID lens. COVID lens of health and safety now, being a resilient and attractional city, especially around jobs and economy, bouncing back after COVID. My mind has really turned to those issues to make our city thrive. I didn't mean to say thrive, because I'm on this thing with you, thriving mayor, but to thrive, thrive as we come out of COVID. And so that's kind of my next internal visioning, is more around how can we set ourselves up for continued success coming out of COVID.
Yeah. Well, I just have to say, Cam, that it's super clear to me, and anybody that's looking at your Facebook page and listening to share your vision and leadership in Guelph, that you definitely are thriving, and your community's thriving, and the people are you're so well positioned to take advantage of, and there's going to be opportunities that are springing up during and after the pandemic for municipalities to reposition themselves. And I just need to take my hat off to you and to your community for being so progressive and
Yeah.
and leading the way, but then saying, you know what, we're going to share. We're going to discover, we're going to invent, create, and we're going to share, and we're all going to get better by doing it.
We are a very competitive world now, and I think way back it was more about each city against each city, and then it's become more about regions to regions. But with technology and logistics, it's easy to compete worldwide now, and I think sharing, especially amongst mayors and cities, of what is working, what is not working, collaborating a lot more, partnerships, allow us to stand stronger together than on our own. And by being having that more of that better of an outlook on things, I think makes us more attractional for people and companies and such to come to our regions. I obviously want companies to land in Guelph, of course, but if they land 5 minutes outside of Guelph in the county, okay, I don't get those tax dollars, but I know my citizens will get jobs there.
Yeah.
That's a good thing, right?
Oh, yeah.
So it's about that collaboration and reminding ourselves that we are competing on a global basis.
Yeah, that's so awesome. This week's interview was with Don Lavisa, who's the president of Durham College in Oshawa.
Oh, okay.
And they just got a beautiful donation from the Barrett family for their Innovation Center and Sustainable Urban Agriculture. And
okay.
so
do you have the Barrett's phone number? Like to give them a call.
Yeah, no, I don't. No.
Okay. I'll look it up.
Yeah, and I just wanted to mention that as well, that because Guelph and has just a sec.
It's the Barrett's calling you, wanting my number.
It was actually Durham College.
Oh, okay. That's pretty funny.
So that's it was wonderful, and then to have you're sharing the circular economy is, because I think we have to be so positive and promote this and supportive of it and bring this to everyone, and it's super valuable. So Cam, I just want to say thank you again so much. Amazing opportunity to have you on the Thriving Mayor Show and to share a little bit of your story and the amazing work you're doing.
Thanks, Michael. No, I really appreciate it. I think this is a great idea that you're doing with reaching out. And, as much as I said, mayors sharing amongst mayors, cities sharing amongst cities, I mean, you've really created this opportunity here with what you're doing for kind of a one-stop shop for people like myself and others and cities and others to be able to come to your little interviews and steal, beg, borrow, whatever it is from others, because we're going to be better through that kind of collaboration and sharing. And so you've kind of created that opportunity with this. So I appreciate what you're doing as well. I wish you all the best. Yeah,
well, thank you very much. So we're going to sign off, and Cam, if you could just stay on, I'll just thank you again afterwards. And next week is Sandra Masters, who's the mayor of Regina, Saskatchewan, will be on the show. So please join us for that. Have a great week, everybody. Thank you for joining the Thriving Mayor Show. Make sure to like and share and tell your friends and colleagues. Mayors are awesome and are the change agents to enhance the quality of living for over 80% of us. Remember what Coach Wooden said, you cannot live a perfect day without doing something for someone who can never repay you. Much love and peace. Until next time.